Hello from your buddy Brooks, good old backpacker Brooks, and I am going to show you what I have done to the infamous 210T hammock. First off, this new 210 has a nice pouch, and the zippers go all the way back. It also has a shelf where I have my boot. I have no net hanging in my face and it is easy to use. But I have done some modifications. What on earth is this guy doing? It's your good old buddy Brooks checking in, your long lost friend from the infamous 210T hammock again. I have my pocket to the side here with a little bit of insulation. Very comfortable, no netting is in my face. They've modified the 210 and made zippers that go all the way back. And that's kind of nice because you don't have to worry about ruining your zippers as easy. This 210 came with this little shelf. I wouldn't put much besides some socks and gadgets like this in it. But the 210, I like it. The first thing you do to your 210, you want to swap these out for something lightweight. Comes with those huge heavy hooks and thick ropes. And then I have this nifty setup where all it is a quick zip, a little toggle, and that's how I can raise and lower this net. I have one on each side. So the way they want you to use this or design it is they have two strings that go through these and you put a stick through it and it holds it out of your face. It just doesn't work. And I find that in this 210, the shelf I have, of course, yeah, you know, it's a $19 hammock. Comes with some quirky stitching and stuff. But this shelf, the shelf is pretty nice. It addresses this insulation issue if you're a big guy especially, or a big person, you know, where it's cold and blowing up against you. You can kind of tuck a sweatshirt or a jacket. You can even lower the net a bit and have a shelf on both sides. It still stays out of your face. So I'm pretty stoked here about this new 210. The only thing that really went wrong with the old 210 over there is I hung down too close to a rock and it got a hole in it. So I used that. I wouldn't be putting this up if I didn't think they worked, but I used that old 210 for a long time and it worked fine. The zippers didn't quite unzip all the way back, so at the end of its days I kind of got a quirky zipper. Mind you, it is a $19 US hammock, so they aren't using the world's best hardware, but I honestly think the zipper just went bad because it didn't zip out all the way. Now, they've thought through that. This new one does a pretty good job of it. So, I might just go to bed here. Just take a little nap. Over and out from the infamous 210T. Hey, it's good old buddy Brooks. I just zipped myself in the infamous 210T hammock. So what's happening? This. Now you can work around this. The simple solution. So simple. Just take an item. And that's it. You just make yourself a little shelf. You can put whatever you want in the shelf, just not too much, right? Now, I've got my line. It adjusts with some quick ties up there by the toggle. It can clip to the tarp or the tree or the straps. I am good and comfy in the 210. I like the 210 because it has the perfect shape for me. I'm about 5'11" high, 200 pounds. I'm very comfortable. I have the sub 7 as my ultralight hammock, and it's just a little tight. This is also nice because you could flip it the other way, and the netting actually keeps you warm, believe it or not. I've had the difference with the netting flipped the other way underneath me, where it just is enough little bit of extra warmth where I don't have to bother to put up my air mat underneath me or an underquilt or anything like that. So it has its perks. The last one, all that went wrong with it was I laid on a rock and it got a hole in it. The zipper got a little iffy. It's just a cheap zipper, but I think its main problem is it didn't unzip far enough. On this new hammock, they have that zipper so it unzips all the way back. So I'm pretty stoked about it. Not too bad. Got my 210T back. That said, why a short hammock? Everybody's making like huge hammocks, like 11-foot hammocks. Their view is that's more comfortable, but my view is this fits between the trees better. And this is a quite comfortable shape of a hammock. I'm very comfortable in it, and it's short. So that allows me, if I have a shorter hammock, I can have a shorter tarp. That's less stuff I have to carry. And I can put it between the trees. I find myself in thick forest, jungle, whatnot, in the middle of the night. And it's just nice to have a hammock that just isn't so freaking long you can't set it up anywhere. And it's not so freaking big you can't even carry it with you in your backpack. Nobody gets it besides the fine people from China that made this hammock. I gotta thank them we call it the infamous 210T, but it's about a $19 US product. And I've tested, there's its old predecessor, another 210T, of which the only thing went wrong is I hung it on a rock. That's my stupid fault. The zippers now go all the way back, and I've got the netting off my face. I can pull this net up higher if I want. It also works as a nice insulation buffer. Like this little pocket, it's nice for keeping me warm. I can even lower this net, and I can do the same thing over here. And that kind of covers my shoulders, which are, for a big guy, a good part that gets cold. So, enjoying myself. Over and out from the 210T. I just might take a little nap here in Granny's basement.